From the S&C World Headquarters in New York, I'm Haley Bianco, and here are the stories we're following at this hour. A Venezuelan man has been convicted of murder in the killing of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. Jose Ibarra was charged with murder and other crimes in Riley's February death. The guilty verdict was reached today, and he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Ibarra had waived his right to a jury trial, meaning that the judge alone heard and decided the case. The murder added fuel to the national debate over immigration, when federal authorities said Ibarra illegally entered the U.S. in 2022 and was allowed to stay in the country while he pursued his immigration case. In other immigration news, the state of Texas is offering President-elect Donald Trump land to use for deportation facilities as Trump promises to fix the country's border crisis. Sally Patterson reports.
Donald Trump ran for president on a platform of tackling illegal immigration. Now he's working on turning those promises into action. Firstly, by using the U.S. military to help with his proposed mass deportations. Now, Texas authorities say facilities can be built on their land to process, detain and deport undocumented migrants. There are around 11.4 million immigrants living in the country illegally, according to the Migration Policy Institute. Many now face an uncertain future.
A bomb cyclone sweeping across the northwestern U.S. has turned deadly as it's battering the region with strong winds and rain. It's caused widespread power outages, downed trees, and littered roadways across northwest Washington. The Weather Prediction Center issued excessive rainfall risks through Friday, and hurricane-force wind warnings are in effect. The Texas Education Board has approved a controversial proposal to allow Bible-infused teachings into public grade schools. Tony Waterman has more.
It was an 8-7 decision in support of the proposal, so really representative of the deep divide over this issue. There is going to be a final vote on Friday, but it is not expected to change the outcome. Now, supporters of the state-developed curriculum say the Bible stories will teach students about morality, but critics say the material violates the separation of church and state and implies that one religion is better than others. Schools will not be required to use the material, but if they do, they will receive a big boost in funding. In Austin, Tony Waterman, Salem News Channel.
Campbell's is ditching the soup, at least in name. The Campbell Soup Company announced its intention to change its name just over 2 months ago, saying it wanted to instead be known as Campbell's Company. New Jersey-based Campbell's also owns brands like Prego sauce and Goldfish crackers, and earlier this year completed a $2.7 billion acquisition of Sovos Brands, the maker of Rao's pasta sauces. The new name will officially be effective following an amendment filing. Now let's check out today's closing bell numbers. Today is Transgender Day of Remembrance, focusing on trans people who have lost their lives because of violence. It has been recognized since 1999 with vigils and memorials. About 1.6 million people in the U.S. ages 13 and older identify as transgender. Alec Baldwin's movie Rust had its world premiere today at a film festival in Poland. It comes 3 years after the on-set shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Hutchins' mother refused to attend and said she viewed the premiere as an attempt by Baldwin to unjustly profit from her daughter's death. But Hutchins' husband wanted the film to be finished and came on as an executive producer. Donald Trump continues to announce key personnel for his incoming administration. The president-elect said he is nominating longtime TV talk show host Dr. Mehmet Oz to lead the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. In a statement, Trump said Oz will cut waste and fraud within the country's most expensive government agency. He also has chosen his transition co-chair Howard Lutnick to be Commerce Secretary. On Truth Social, Trump announced last night that he intends to appoint Linda McMahon, the former CEO of the WWE, to lead the Department of Education. The president-elect has also selected Matt Whitaker as NATO ambassador. Hong Kong Democrat Jimmy Lai has testified in his national security trial, saying he never tried to influence the foreign policy of other countries, such as the U.S. towards China and Hong Kong. The 77-year-old founder of the now-closed tabloid Apple Daily faces 2 counts of colluding with foreign forces and another charge of sedition. He has pleaded not guilty. Laura Westbrook reports.
While in court today, media mogul Jimmy Lai appeared in good spirits. He smiled and waved at his wife and daughter. Now, his defense lawyer, Stephen Kwan, questioned Lai about his connection to politicians in Taiwan and the U.S., including former Vice President President Mike Pence. Now, Lai testified that his trip to the US Capitol was his idea, and it was to share what was happening in Hong Kong during the time of widespread protests in 2019. And during that meeting with the former vice president, Mr. Lai said he did not ask Pence to take any action. Now, prosecutors have alleged that Lai sought support from the US in sanctioning mainland Chinese and Hong Kong leaders who had cracked down on the pro-democracy movement.
In New York, I'm Bianco, Salem News Channel.